Hi, this is Solomommy, and today I want to talk about when language gets unexpected. Sometimes when a child with autism starts expanding their language, the results can be a little, unexpected. And as a parent, you can find yourself in a very strange emotional place because part of you is thinking, oh wow, that sentence was really complex. And the other part of you is thinking, we definitely need to talk about that word. If you've been here for a while, you know Solomon's been working really hard on communication. For a long time, his language was pretty simple. Short phrases, repeated scripts, single ideas. So when new languages started showing up, we celebrate that. Because communication growth is a huge win, even when it shows up in ways we didn't exactly plan for. Recently, Solomon discovered a new word, and I'm not going to repeat it too many times, but let's just say it's a word most parents hope their child learns a little later in life. The surprising part, he's using it correctly, grammatically, and intensifier, which means suddenly I'm hearing things like, "You are fucking bad." And I had that very strange parent moment where half of my brain went, we absolutely need to address that language. And the other half went, wow, that was a complete sentence. But my personal favorite moment so far was this one. He looked right at me and said, I'm a fucking kid, not a person. Persons pick things up. Which is both wildly incorrect and somehow deeply logical at the same time. Apparently, in his mind, kids and persons are completely different species. Nobody really tells you this part about speech development, that sometimes when language expands, it takes a brief detour through construction work or vocabulary. Now, obviously, we're still teaching him that some words are not appropriate, and that's part of learning language. But what that moment showed me was something deeper. His brain is experimenting with language. He's adding emotion, emphasis, structure. That's a level of communication we've been working towards for a very long time. Autism parenting often means celebrating progress that doesn't look perfect yet, because growth doesn't arrive polished. Sometimes it arrives messy, sometimes it arrives funny, and sometimes it arrives with vocabulary you weren't expecting to hear from a 5-year-old. But underneath that moment is a child figuring out how to turn thoughts into language. And that's a huge step forward. So yes, we are definitely working on editing the vocabulary, but I have to admit, the grammar is improving faster than the filter. And honestly, communication growth, even when it's a little chaotic, is still a win.